People think enlightenment is something they can figure out. That if you read enough books, meet enough gurus, meet enough people who have a certain charisma that can convince you that they are probably enlightened, then by some sort of osmosis you will magically become enlightened yourself. Well, this is all utter bullshit. Because no one can give you enlightenment. If somebody could give you enlightenment, the whole concept is absurd. Giving you something implies that you do not have it already. And there's a distinction between the enlightened state and the state you're in, and you desire the enlightened state because you feel miserable or depressed or loathe yourself or whatever reason you might have to want to get an enlightened state. But the truth is you're already enlightened. It can't be given to you. It can only be rediscovered. You see, perfection is already there. And you are messing it up. The whole issue about ignorance is that you mess up your natural state of bliss and love and devotion and surrender to the divine. So, what can you do about it? You can't do much about it as long as you approach the question, the issue, from the point of your personal will. If you think, I want this, that, you're never going to get it. Perhaps in the physical world, in the material world, if you're ambitious and you set a goal and you say, I really want to be a CEO or famous, this or that or whatnot. Maybe if the stars are with you and it's your prarabdha karma and whatnot, you might achieve it. But if you don't have the cosmic impetus, the stars, the prarabdha karma, you won't make it anyway. So you have to get in tune with what is your natural disposition and sense what is right and wrong for you in life and get in tune with that. Now, this is something entirely different from the Enlightenment Project. The Enlightenment Project is stepping out of this entire game, but there's no you that steps out of it. The you is eternally, unavoidably, there's no way you can get out of it. It is linked to the prarabdha karma game, the game of your incarnation in this life. So, if you think your ego can somehow evolve into an enlightened ego, you are totally wrong. The ego, the personality, can never, ever reach enlightenment. There is no such thing as a perfect personality, a perfect ego. You all know this dream, the illusion that an enlightened being is Christ-like, compassionate, all-forgiving, can heal ailments, turns the other cheek, and so on. let me tell you, from my personal experience, this is utter nonsense. There are such beings, of course there are, but they are way beyond the basic state of enlightenment that we're discussing now. And actually the next 3 or 4 stages of enlightenment. Yes, Christ was probably one of those, but you are not going to become a Christ in this life. It's very unlikely. I'm not a Christ, and I have no aspirations to become Christ-like. I'm happy to be enlightened. I'm liberated. I am free. I'm a Jivan Mukti. And I only totally wish for you to become the same. Maybe later the Christ-like qualities will come. But don't set your goals too high. Why set your goals to have a perfect ego when it's only an ego trip as long as you're not enlightened? No, give up all that. Transcend the ego, surrender, merge into the absolute. Now, there are several things that can aid you in that. One is the basic teaching that I always try to convey, and that is love, devotion, and surrender. I initiate people through Shaktipat, and that means I connect them with the grace of the Divine Mother. And once that connection has been established, you have to practice love for the divine, devotion to the Divine Mother, and surrender. And the Divine Mother, which is the same as Shakti, and Shakti lives in you as Kundalini, will take care of you and your needs spiritually and take you to enlightenment. So, love, devotion, surrender. They come in that order. Love, if you have sufficient love for the divine, it can mature into devotion. And if you have sufficient devotion to the divine, you can surrender. But you can't surrender to the divine if you don't have devotion, and you can't feel devotion if you don't have love. So love for the divine is really, really, really important. And in the lineage that I'm presenting, this love is generally directed to Mother, the Divine Mother. Grace, compassion, this insanely intense force, Shakti, that grabs you and pulls you into the self towards merging with Shiva. And Shiva in this respect means the absolute, pure, in itself resting being. Once this merging happens, you are a Jivan Mukta, as I said, you are liberated, you are free, but you also live a life where bliss wells up in you constantly, no matter what you're doing. Bliss is your natural state. Bliss comes in several varieties. In the beginning, bliss will overwhelm you and become non-functional. Later, bliss is a gentle, subtle state of supreme devotion to the Divine Mother, and you feel that in whatever you do. If you type on the keyboard, it's an act of devotion and love to the Divine Mother. If you dream during sleep, it's a dream surrender to the Divine Mother, and so on and so forth. In immature states of enlightenment, you can have bliss, but they will make you non-functional. That's not what I'm talking about. They are fantastic in their own right. You know, you go into this rapture and you can't function, you can't do anything, you can't say anything. You're just overwhelmed with this love, bliss, joy beyond anything you have ever experienced before. But beyond that, it all stabilizes and you merge into the Divine Mother, who is compassion, love, devotion, surrender, all in one, and there is no longer a subject who is loving, devotional, or surrendered. There's just a merging. Please understand this. Merging into absolute oneness with the goal of your devotion, whether that is Krishna or the Divine Mother or Mother Mary or Jesus or whatever, I don't care. It is such a state of extreme love, extreme devotion, extreme surrender to your beloved God, Mother, in everything around you. That is what enlightenment is.